possibile prevedere con 3 anni di anticipo la pandemia che stiamo vivendo oggi? Sì, secondo Lawrence Wright, giornalista, scrittore, premio Pulitzer nel 2007, ha appena concluso un romanzo, si chiama Pandemia ed è ora uscito nelle librerie italiane, che si rivela profetico, basandosi unicamente su materiale giornalistico. Wright scrive scene che sembrano quelle che stiamo vivendo e vedendo oggi. Lo abbiamo raggiunto nella sua casa in Texas e del romanzo abbiamo parlato con lui.
The prophecy contained in the book.
Yeah.
The press, in a way, me, is that the knowledge was out there. You, as a journalist, not without any medical training, you could gather all the information. All these people already knew. So where was the missing link? These people didn't communicate, or the government, the political sphere didn't ask them, why are we at the stage we are now if we knew it was coming?
It's not exactly up to me to answer that. I went and talked to these people, many of them working for the American government in our distinguished health agencies, and they knew that a pandemic like this would come. They just didn't know when, but they knew it would come. And after all, I mean, Valeria, look at, 2003 we had SARS, then we had Ebola, then we had MERS, then we had West Nile, then we had Zika, then we had avian influenza. One brand new virus after another coming at us at a faster rate than ever before. And so, the pulse is quickening. And it's a lot of it is because, the invasion of humanity into nature and the climate change and the lack of preparation by governments to address these problems. They're all tied together. But the idea that, as some of our political figures have said, that nobody could have imagined this is a total lie. It's, even with the current administration in Washington, they were handed a briefing book from the Obama administration about pandemic control. It was all laid out. Yeah. The same things that I read, were in that briefing book. Apparently it was just ignored. America's done a terrible job, and many countries have done a terrible job. Some countries have done a wonderful job, and I think that we can learn a lot about what kind of governments actually function, and from studying how we've reacted to this crisis.
I thought it was particularly interesting is that, for me, there are kind of subplots in the main plot. So how did they develop? Did you have the main plot already in mind, and then you added this subplot because eventually they join and they have a meaning? Right. For I think a good half of the book, as a reader, I was like, why is he telling us all these details?
Well, I was intrigued by, spent a lot of time as a foreign correspondent, and the geopolitical aspects of a pandemic were interesting to me. As we see, all the blame and stigma that's being cast around now, those were things I wanted to write about in the novel, because in some ways the pandemic is it functions just as a stressor. You look at the social situation we have now and add stress. I saw all of these things being entwined. Yeah. And they're related to each other. Policy, government policy has an effect on, like, climate change. Climate change has an effect on disease. Everything is interconnected. And one of the things I wanted to do in the novel is demonstrate the relationship, how these things all are tied together.
Something which is not present in the book is solidarity.
I underestimated the solidarity of individual people to voluntarily and then, responsibly shelter in place, go inside, close the door for months at enormous personal sacrifice, financial, social, emotional, even spiritual. This has been a price, that ordinary people have paid willingly. And so my hat is off to people like that.
there are so many levels that you can read the novel, like as a thriller or just as the history of this Henry, and then there are so many more levels. So that's why I struggle to see it as only as a non-fiction. It's so
Well,
much.
I never take off my journalist hat entirely. I'm fascinated by, real events. And, also it's, to me, the lore that inside this world of public health and the history of medicine is quite fascinating. And I use my own sensibility to judge whether others might be interested in it. I don't know that everybody shares my fascination, but if I don't indulge it, then those who would enjoy it don't get a chance to see that side of. And so I give myself a lot of room to bring in real events, even real people, just when I find that they're useful or really interesting.
So you have these two, part of you, and the reporter and the novel writer.
That's right. Yeah. But they conspire together in order to tell a story.
Yeah, which was really good.